The second session will be on successful cases in Japan and in foreign countries. It's chaired by Mr. Masaomi Koyama from METI and co-chaired by Mr. Yoshihiro Kawaguchi from ECCJ. Gentlemen, please.
Thank you very much. And the session 2, as introduced, the successful cases in Japan and in foreign countries. I believe you have had a good lunch and perhaps a little bit sleepy, but I believe our speaker, very good presentation, and perhaps it's a good session for the all attendees. And the first speaker, Mr. Leonardo Moraes Lourenço, Product Engineer Manager, Daikin, McQuay. You have a floor.
Good afternoon. It's a great responsibility to make you all wake up again. As it was introduced, I am Leandro. I am from Daikin Products in Brazil. We manufacture air conditioning products. In our case, is also connected to the use of central conditioning air system as a result to reduce energy. I'm going to talk about high efficiency products, but not only this, because this helps, but it is not enough to reach the best energetic performance, and this is why we are going to talk about the high efficiency product together with the central management. The central management allows us to obtain the best performance of a product, either of high efficiency or not. First, I'm going to talk about the Daikin activities, followed by our case, and on the third part, we will tackle on the challenges that we see, especially here in Brazil. Daikin is a Japanese company. It was founded in 1924 in Osaka, and currently these are a few of our figures. I will mention the totals. We have sales above $20 billion annual dollars. We have more than 70,000 collaborators around the world, and our businesses are based our core business is air conditioning. We also are in some other areas, but 90% of our businesses are air conditioning and refrigeration. And in Brazil, we are located since 2011. Our headquarters is here in São Paulo, in the district of Butantã. We have subsidiaries in 4 regions, in addition to São Paulo, which are the main consuming poles. And since 2014, we have our plant or a factory for residential products located in the city of Manaus. A little bit of what is going on in the world, and this is in the media all the time. It's not anything new. Climate events like heat waves, storms, floods, and more recently we are hearing about the fires that are happening in California. All of this is a result of global warming, basically, and the studies show that we human beings are very much responsible for global warming. Climate events that happened with a lower intensity, but now they're greater, and other events that didn't happen now are happening as well. And What can Daikin do? And what are we trying to do? As for the sustainability targets from the UN, we identify ourselves as influencers for 4 of them, which are the well-being and health through products that can provide quality air to the environments, sustainability of cities and communities through providing products that contribute with buildings of zero emissions, energy management, among others. The responsible production as manufacturers, we also have a direct power in reducing in energy saving and CO2 reductions. And as an industry, we recognize ourselves as big emitters, and in the air conditioning industry, everybody knows we are responsible for a good part of the energy consumption worldwide, so we also have this responsibility in climate actions. Our vision, long-term vision for sustainability, it is based on these 3 pillars that are products, high-efficiency products. We have been producing them from quite a while now. We are always trying to improve this efficiency, but not only products. More and more solutions are necessary to integrate the products. It's useless to say only products. We need the integrated solution. And the 3rd pillar is the power of the air, the quality of in-house air, that we are always trying to improve. All of this and these 3 pillars integrated through innovations concerning IoT and IA that helps us to integrate these 3 aspects. And this helps us to find or to look for zero emissions, as it was mentioned before. It's an utopia, but more and more we are moving towards this goal, and these are our targets until 2050. About our products, first of all, I'm going to tell you about the inverter technology. Probably you heard about the inverter air conditioning, who created this technology and is always working in its expansion. In the map here we have some figures about the market growth in absolute figures in terms of production, and also the inverter percentage compared to the whole, and its evolution since 2009 until 2015. Data a little bit old because 2015 is long gone by, but in China, the largest market, in less than 10 years, they went from 7% to 67% of products sold, including inverter. This technology is cheaper, you all know about that, and our contribution in these products in the year of 2017, we calculated as being 54 million tons of CO2 reduced should these products not be inverter. We would have this greater emission. And another technology that we have moved forward on and is becoming a trend is the cooling fluid R32. It's a fluid that has 1/3 of the impact on the global warming compared to the gas that is the R410. And since 2012, we have produced this on a commercial scale. We have sold 15 million products using this gas, and a total of 55 million, and now together with other manufacturers that adopted this technology, 55 million units have been produced, and 92 million tons of CO2 equivalent has been not produced. And talking about our case in terms of reduction, we have had some changes on our central office. And I'm going to show the difference in terms of consumption that we obtained after we changed the building. A air conditioning system, we recognize that not only the high efficiency product brings an impact for consumption reduction, but also a design, the appropriate selection of the equipment brings some impact, and a central management, the way as this product is used, also brings another impact. It was mentioned earlier in a different presentation that efficiency is reached through technology and behavioral change, human behavior change. And in technology, we have it present in the product, and the behavior, we have transformed the behavior through central management. So we include these two aspects here. A context for these two buildings here. Today we are in this district of Butantã, our current headquarters now since last year. And before that, it was in Cerro Corá, was in a very adverse economic scenario. Since 2011, we had our headquarters in the Alameda Santos, and in 2013, we expanded to a second building that was basically only for services. Our technicians and parts remained there. But because of the crisis, we had to change. We have to move. And all the administrative part moved from Alameda Santos to Cerro Corá. And it was a sudden move, and we didn't have time to take the necessary care concerning air conditioning. And because of this, the results were that, first of all, when we moved to Butantã, we increased the occupied area, and the conditioned area was increased in 70%. The kind of air conditioning that was used also changed. It went from an older generation of product to a more updated generation. And the installed capacity also faced a reduction. So despite an increase of 70% in area, we increased only 50% in the installed capacity of machines. So this was a care with a proper selection that allowed us to make this kind of reduction. And also, the main focus currently is automation. We didn't have automation in the old building, but now we started applying a central management, and all the air conditioning system needs a central management so that it can work more rationally. So first, the reduction of the number of machine installs at 12%, and the results. We are there since September 2017, so as of November, we monitored the energy consumption for a period of 4 months, comparing it to the same period in the previous year. So here we see a consumption of 9,700 kilowatts hour as an average in the old building, and then it went to 6,000 kilowatt hour as an average in the new building. Although we have 70% more area, we were able to reduce consumption in 38%, the total consumption of energy, not only air conditioning. Because we didn't have any measurements for the systems, individualized measurements actually, we consider that 1/3 of that consumption included lighting and other electrical equipment. We consider that in the new building, the same amount of consumption remained from other systems because we applied, we cannot see it very well, but the information there is that when we change traditional lights to LED lights, we had a reduction of consumption. So although we increased the area, we increased as well the efficiency of the bulbs, so the same consumption was maintained. So 56.7% of reduction in energy, we assign this to the air conditioning system. But if we include in the same basis of comparison in terms of air, because now we have 70% more of area climatized, this reduction would be proportionally of 75% in air conditioning. So it's a very significant reduction. And then we did evaluations for the reasons on these reductions. And one of the main reasons was automation, the central management. And here we give some details of what it allows us to do. Highlighting, for instance, a schedule for working. In the past, we didn't have a scheduled timer, so each machine had its own remote control. People would switch them on and switch them off when they wanted. Usually they switch them off when they want, and they switch them off when they remember. And this manager or management allowed us to include a timer, so every day at the same time the air conditioning switches itself off. Another aspect was set point limit. People that don't know how to use the air conditioning, they go to 18, 16, and the minimum temperature allowed by the air conditioning. This is a waste of energy. And if we restrict, we have a way of reducing or restricting the set point, we can offset this waste. In addition to energy management, because there are functions where you can include consumption targets and do a follow-up to see if these targets have been met or not, or if you have to reduce them. And you can also manage different sites. So different plants, different offices can be managed by a sole system, only one management system. And this is an important tool for the energy management. The results we believed being 37% to the equipment itself, 12% in the selection, the proper selection, and 26% in the behavioral change provided through the automation of the system. And the last part of my presentation, we will mention about the Brazilian challenges. And it's concerning energy regulation for air conditioning, and here more specifically talking about air conditioning for households. We did a demo tests, some demo tests, with the objective of bringing some awareness. If inverter is more efficient, why a non-inverter product and an inverter product finds the same value of consumption on the label? This is because of the methodology, the existing methodology that has to be revised. With the revision of the methodology and the way it is tested, we will be able to explain better the advantages of the inverter with impact on different other policies. In buildings, for instance, the building with a pro-cell seal, if the air conditionings have pro-cell seal, the building will also receive a label. So the non-inverter also has a label with the same level of consumption. So we have to change this. And for this, we used some partnerships with universities to make this demo, making the product run in normal conditions, not normalized, but the objective was to promote the technology of the fluid R32 together with the inverter. And here we see some pictures of the test sites and the results that we obtained depending on the region and on the time of the year when the test was performed. We had this kind of reduction. So very significant reductions actually, and the label say that the products are identical, but actually consumption impact is very different. So this is the challenge that we have here to face in the short term. That's it. Thank you very much. Muito
It's a very clear, easy understanding presentation with concrete examples. Thank you very much.